So, morning everyone. Today I'd like to uh, learn. I want to teach you about design of member tension that we have already learned into over here, yeah. Net area in here, okay? At the last meeting, and then now we are going to the next, yeah, about effective net area that we have to learn after we know how to calculate about net area, okay? And then now we are going to the next the next material that we call it with effective net area, that the performance of tension member can be influenced by several factors. However, the connection issues is a critical consideration. The presence of connection in tension, yeah, which can be applied to both and well tension. And for effective net area or AE, yeah, is equal U times A net. That U is shear lag factor. And how to learn or how to determine the shear factor, yeah, shear lag factor. Shear lag factor, we can get it from here, yeah, everyone. We can see that from the element that we use. First of all, yeah, if all tension members where the tension load is transmitted directly to each or of the cross-sectional elements, so the shear lag we can use it one. Ya, kalau misalkan semua komponen struktur tariknya itu bebannya disalurkan secara langsung pada setiap elemen profil melintang, ya, kecuali nanti pada kasus-kasus ini ya, except as in cases 4, 5, and 6 ya, ini shear lag-nya atau factor lag di setnya kita gunakan nilai 1 ya. Lalu yang kedua ya, for the second one, all tension member except its SS ya, or in Indonesia is profil struktur rongga ya, where the tension load is transmitted to some but not all of the cross-sectional elements, by fasteners or by longitudinal welds, yeah, in combination with transverse weld. So over here, yeah, we can take a look that we have eye profile like this here, or we have a structural T like this, and then or maybe we use angle profile like this, yeah. If we use both of the profile here, yeah, we can use for the shear lag factor, yeah, for the shear lag factor, we use U equals 1 minus X bar divided by L, ya. Jadi kalau untuk semua komponen struktur tarik ini kecuali yang PSR ya, mau dia profilnya siku, mau dia profilnya WF atau profil I, ataupun mau profilnya T seperti ini, kita bisa menggunakan shear lag factor-nya adalah U sama dengan 1 dikurangi X bar per L. And actually we have a lot of shear lag value ya over here. We can see what profile that we need or what profile that we use, and then you just can follow the table, yeah. Maybe you are using HSS circular, yeah, like this, round HSS like this, yeah. You can use it this pattern, ya. Kalau misalkan bentuknya bulat seperti ini, biasanya kamu bisa menggunakan ini, ya. So you can just read the table, ya. For make you easier, yeah, everyone, you can print it, yeah, only for this table, and you can what it is paste it into your notes, ya. Jadi bisa dicetak nanti lalu dipotong ya, ditempel di buku catatannya masing-masing seperti itu. and then so many uh, profile, yeah, everyone. But over here, yeah, you can see if we are using its profile or WF profile or section with B divided by its ratio is more than equals to divided by 3, and the connection of the flange pulls in the direction of the force is uh, more than equals 3 volts per row, yeah, you can use the U, the value of the U or the shear lag value is 0.9. And if the pH ratio is less than 2 divided by 3, yeah, and the number of the pulls in the direction of the force is more than equals 3 volts per row, you can use U equals 0.85. Yeah. If the connection using web plate, yeah, on the web plate, and the number of pulls is uh, more than equals, yeah, more than equals 4 pulls per row, you can use U equals 0.7. Kalau misalkan nilai P per H-nya atau rasio perbandingannya dari P per H itu lebih besar dari sama dengan 2/3, ya nanti dihitung 2/3 itu apa. Jadi, dan juga kalau dilihat di sini, angkanya untuk bautnya, jumlah bautnya untuk per garisnya itu lebih dari 3, maka digunakan U-nya ini sama dengan 0,9. And don't forget ya, for the first term and for the first condition ya, for pH ratio more than equals to divided 3 or pH ratio less than 2 divided 3 ya, the connection is on the flange plate. Jadi kalau misalkan ada di flange-nya, maka nilai U-nya kalau jumlah bautnya lebih besar dari 3, maka U-nya kita gunakan 0,9. Kalau B per H-nya lebih besar dari 2/3 ini. Tapi kalau B per H-nya kurang dari 2/3, lalu connection-nya ada di flange-nya atau di sayapnya ya, maka nanti voltnya kita lihat ternyata dia lebih berat dari 3 juga, maka nilai U-nya langsung masuk ke 0,8. Nah, kalau misalkan connection-nya itu ada di webnya, berarti ada di badannya ya, lalu jumlah bautnya itu lebih dari sama dengan 4 per barisnya, maka nilai U-nya kita gunakan 0,7 ya. And then for the second one, for single or double L section, yeah, with the number of volts, the direction of the force more than equals 4 volts per row, we are using U equals 0.8. Yeah, and with the number of volts in the direction of the force being 3 volts per row, we can use U equals 0.6. Ya, kalau misalkan kita pakai single atau double angle atau siku atau double siku ya. Ini berarti jumlah bautnya kita lihat aja apakah dia jumlah bautnya lebih besar dari sama dengan 4 per barisnya. Kalau iya, maka kita gunakan 0,8 untuk nilai U-nya. Tapi kalau misalkan ternyata dia 3 baris, kan nggak mungkin kalau sambungan cuma 1. Jadi kalau misalkan ada 3 baut per baris, itu maka U-nya kita bisa gunakan 0,6. And then over here you can calculate ya, for WF 194, 156, and 9 ya. You can, what is that? You can calculate, yeah, for P is 150 divided by 194, yeah. And then is that more than equals or is less than equals from 2 divided by 3? Then you can see, yeah, like this, yeah, you can see the number of the volts, yeah, is 4, yeah, in a row, yeah, like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. The volts is 4, yeah, and then you can take the U, yeah, if it's more than 2 divided by 3, we can use 0.9. But if the ratio is less than that, yeah, we can use the U is 0.85. Yeah. Over here, yeah, 150 divided by 300, then is that more than or less than? Yeah, more than or less than from 2 divided by 3. You can learn it, okay? Just calculate it by yourself, yeah, everyone. And then take a look the value of the U. And then over here, yeah, we have angle, yeah, angle 100, 50, 90, and 9. And then the other one is 90, 90, 10, yeah. At the first picture over here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 poles. We have 4 poles, yeah. If we have 4 poles, you can see for a single or a double angle section, the U value is 0.8. And then if the number of poles of the direction for of the first being 3 poles per row, yeah, the U value is 0.6. And then the first picture over here, yeah, we can see that the U value is 0.9, 0.8, yeah, here, yeah, because it's more than or equals, yeah, with 4 poles. And then at the second one here, yeah, you can use 0.9, sorry, 0.6, yeah, okay, 0.6 here, yeah. And then after that, yeah, we can see the block shear, ya. For the block shear, oh ya, sorry, saya jelaskan ya. Jadi kalau misalkan ini jumlah bautnya ada 4, jadi kita lihat bahwa kalau profilnya adalah siku, ya, berarti kita gunakan 0,8. Ya, kalau yang ini jumlahnya ada 3 per row-nya, ya, maka kita gunakan 0,6 saja. Oke. Setelah itu ya, after that, we can see for the block shear strength. Here, yeah, we have the available strength of for the limit state of block shear rupture. Okay, along a shear failure path or paths and a perpendicular tension failure path shall be determined as follows: Rn equals 0.6 times Fu times ANV. That ANV is A net area at the shear area, ya, plus UPS times Fu times ANT. ANT is net area subject to tension, ya, less than equals 0.6 times Fy or F yield, ya, times across shear plus UPS times Fu times ANT, where the tension stress is uniform. UPS is 1, where the tension stress is non-uniform, is 0.5. Over here, yeah, we can see that if, yeah, the tension is uniform, yeah, the UPS value is 1, you see that the tension, the joint should be like this. We use both angle like this, yeah. We use both angle like this, and then another type of angle like this, yeah. Single row beam and connection, angle and gusset plates. But if the UPS value is 0.5, we can see that the connection or the joint is multiple row beam and connection like this. Okay, so just see the the connection that you use, yeah. Is that using uniform tension, or is the tension strength is non-uniform? Yeah. Okay. And then let me tell you that in this area is at the shear area, at the tension area, yeah, and then the shear area is over here, yeah. We have two assumptions before we calculate the block shear, yeah. First of all, that the plate is have no hole anymore, yeah, have no hole at all. And then we can make it into two sections. For the first one, at the shear area over here, yeah, if we cut it here, we can see that A cross shear, yeah, we can calculate with, we can determine that the A cross shear is L times T, yeah, L is the length and the T is the thickness of the plate. And then for the second section, you can see that A cross tension is H times T. H is the height and the T is for the thickness. Yeah. Then for the second assumption is if the plate have holes, yeah, like this. The plate have holes. And then we will make it into two sections again, as before, yeah. One or the first section is over here, yeah. Then for the second one is in here. For the first, yeah, we can determine for a net shear, yeah, is a gross shear, yeah. A gross shear, you can get it from L times T like this, yeah. Then minus N times T N times T, yeah. The value of or the N is the number of the poles, yeah. And in here, yeah, we have 1, 2, and a half. Okay, so the M is 2.5. Okay, you can see over here if we have one, what is it? One hole, and then this one is the second hole, and then the third one is not 3, but it's half. Nah, so the M value of or the number of the poles is 2.5, yeah, 2.5. Okay, and then for the tension area over here, yeah, that have tension rupture, yeah, we cut it in here to the second section, yeah. The enough tension is a cross tension, yeah, that you get from H times T minus N times T times thickness. And the N1 is not 1, yeah, the value of the pulse is not 1, but the value of the pulse is 0.5. Okay, careful. Jadi kalau kita lihat di sini ya, kita punya dua asumsi untuk geser blok ya. Yang pertama kalau dia utuh jadi tanpa lubang, yang kedua itu sudah. Jadi nanti kita bagi menjadi dua section ya. Section pertama itu yang ada di bagian geser ini, section kedua itu yang ada di bagian tarik ini. Kalau yang di bagian geser itu yang bagian bawah sini ya, kita potong nanti A cross gesernya adalah L dikalikan T, di mana L itu adalah lengthnya, T-nya itu adalah tebelnya. Lalu yang kedua itu kan yang ini potongannya di daerah tarik, maka kita lihat potongannya menjadi ini H dikalikan dengan T, across tension. Nah, asumsi kedua ketika sudah dari kita potong sama, misalnya dengan yang nah, kalau untuk yang pertama itu kan berarti A itu karena sudah dikurangi ya dengan jumlah lubangnya, A netonya maka sama dengan A cross gesernya dikurang sama N T. Tapi hati-hati, N di sini tidaklah 3 tetapi menjadi 1, 2, dan setengah. Jadi ada 2,5 lubang. Jadi di sini adalah AN geser ya atau ANV sama dengan AGV dikurangi dengan 2,5 kali D-nya nanti jadi 4 dan thickness-nya. Nah, thickness ya. Lalu untuk peruntuhan tariknya itu yang bagian ini. Nanti kita lihat ya, H dikalikan dengan T ya, potongannya nanti potongan dua-dua ini maka N tariknya itu sama dengan A cross T dikurangi N kali D kali T, di mana N-nya itu tidak 1, tapi 0, nah ini ada contoh ya. Jadi bisa tolong kalian kerjakan ya dan dikumpulkan. Jadi di sini saya punya jangan soal ya, sebuah komponen struktur tarik berukuran 10 mm kali 175 mm disambung dengan 3 buah baut M24, untuk bajunya digunakan A36, MD-nya 250 MDA, lalu MD-nya 400 MDA ya, hitunglah kekuatan tarik desain dengan mengasumsikan AI sama dengan A. Okay, so you have to do this task ya, and then submit into my desk. Okay, you can do this task ya in paper ya, and then try to submit. Okay, everyone, I think that's all ya. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.